What's up, my friends? Thanks for coming and joining me today on the Hatcher channel for the good night, good time, slappy fun, happy. What did I call it? Hold on. What did I call it? Welcome to the Sunday night good times chill stream. I knew I gave it some. I I knew I gave it some name like that. So yeah, welcome to this slapping good times, friends. All right, hold on. Let me grab the live stream link. We'll share that in the Discord. And then we're going to have us a slappy time. A slap dangling time. We're going to slap those dangles, yo! We're going to slap them just the way your mama loves it, buddy. We're going to get the right angle, slap it right on the tip. Wait, what am I talking about? Whatever. As long as your mama loves it, that's all that matters. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. All right, hold on. I screwed that up. I screwed that up with my goofy typing. A goof fingered it. Just like I did your mother. Alright. Alright. So, we got that done. Let's switch it over so I can see whose august presence am I in. What's up? No, that's right. What up, Aang, Raze, Nishimoto, Joe, Millmaster, Yamagoro, Juglum, Zircon, Gossett, Felonious T, Heavy Metal C. Ho, I just made it rhyme, son. Shotter. Who else do we got in here? Jess, some, Kitsune. We're gonna come back to what you just said in a second. Dreams, Keebler, Larry, what's up, y'all? Kitsune opening the hatch. No, that sounds too much like spreading the cheeks, son. But you know what I say? The opposite to? Negative minus. That's not the opposite. That's the opposite. Millmaster gifting a membership to Aang with a sweet little kiss on the cheek. All right, Millmaster. Oh, the board's not even aligned properly. I have been remiss with dis. Oh, I'm rhyming real good tonight, son. I got the pass the OJ because I got juice. All right, Millmaster, you're the member lord because you membered to give somebody a membership. Give him a sweet little Hatcher egg guy. What up, Shelton? What up, John? How you doing? How's it going? Oh, look, Ray's happy about your little hat, dude. Yeah. As your membership plumpens and matures into a ripened MILF, it will start to look like that. And then once you get further along, then I think it goes white to yellow, the golden one. Like, well, some people already have them in here. Some people already have them. What up, Al? How you doing? Any bets on what's going to be on the courageous critter sheet for Bloombro? Courageous critters. I don't even know what that is. Give me more details, son. Tell me where you heard this term. How do I not know it? What's this? Go get a perm. More rhyming. All night. I'm rhyming. All right. Error. You still haven't done anything Millmaster said? Well, that's okay. Because you're like the princess who's all like, oh, I'm not in love with this man and I will show my independence. But ultimately, deep in your maidenly heart, you long for him, and that's okay. Live your truth. Live your truth, girl. Al, you're doing well, you guess? Well, you should know. It's a warm day in the 90s. No, son, it's the 2020s now. The 90s were 30 years ago. Oh, I'm aging. I age like milk. Bitterly. I am very curdled. Larry, your cat's giving you a bath. She's licking your arm. Well, I hope it's not the baby arm, buddy. Keep it in your pants, son. Don't let your cat lick your nose. Don't cats have crazy tongues? Don't they have tongues that are like hurting, bro? Don't they got hurty tongues? Yeah, Magoro, you bet that the what if Bloomberg card for Gideon would make him a badger? This guess is as good as any, I guess. Like the Eldraine enchantment sheet. Well, is that what they're calling the what ifs? Like Jace as is that where Jace is a fox? Is that what you're talking about? Because I don't even know. Wizards does so much stuff now and adds so many things into every set that you could literally be talking about something aside from the what if variations, right? Al, it's a good day, but you got some stuff going on. Well, life can be like that, bro. But it's gonna turn out all right, but not tonight. It rhymed, so it's true. More truthful rhyming. Eric, cat tongues are rough. They don't hurt, but they aren't comfortable either. All right, fair enough. What up, Bob? Hope the week goes well. Well, thanks for the good wishes for everybody, son. Didn't miss saying hello to anybody, did I? Nope, I did not. Doesn't look like it. Excellent. Excellent. Heavy Metal, you unpacked a few more boxes, restocked essential grocery home items, and are hanging out with your birds. Sounds really chill, bro. Sounds really chill. Shotter, it's early Monday for you. It's wild how we can all be here in this singular moment, but due to the weird nature of keeping track of time and the revolutions of the earth and the sun and the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, that we can all be here together at different times on different days, because that is the ways. Blaze, what's up? The Sandlot came out in 93 and took place in 62. If it came out in 2024, it would take place in 1993. That is a very random, that's a very random thing to say. Jess, your cat killed your bird in 2016. You just trained him to go on your finger. So right after you finished training this bird to take a dump on your finger, the cat killed it? That was probably because of the disrespect of the bird taking a dump on you, bro. That's probably why. That's my guess. That's my guess. What was it? Oh, well, whatever. There was something specifically on my mind, I feel like, before the stream started that I wanted to talk about. But whatever. Whatever. I want to talk about some fun stuff. That's what I'm here to do tonight, is talk about good times with sweet rhymes. Although the rhyming part isn't part of the title, so it's not legally binding, but just so you guys know, you are legally bound to have a good time. So if you're not having a good time, you have to go outside for 5 minutes and take your pants off until you're ready for a good time, and then wait. You know what? Never mind. You can decide. You're allowed to not have a good time, and by giving you the freedom to not have a good time, you'll automatically be having a good time. Checkmate. Checkmate. And speaking of checkmate, I'll back that up with some magic artwork. There you go. Look, it's chess moves. I was looking through this pack earlier going, they really did just throw whatever in Markov Manor, bro. 100%. 100%. Ball Falcon, second day in a row your power went out. Damn power company can't figure out exactly what's going on. Hopefully it comes back on soon. It was out for like 5 hours yesterday. Oh, lengthy power outages suck, man. You got to keep your fridge closed so that your food doesn't get all warm. It's crazy. I remember my favorite power outage was one that hit a huge chunk of this city. It hit a huge chunk of this city, including the awful call center that I worked at. And my home was like a block and a half away from where I worked. But it was right on the line of where I guess they divided the power grid or something. So my home had power the entire time. And they were trying to get people to come into work even though they were having power issues and stuff like that. And I was just straight up like, sorry, our power's out, can't come into work. And I used that as an excuse for days because it was an extended power outage. Gianna, you're down for a good time? That's what I heard about you. Your profile picture tells me you're down for a real good time. A real good time. Bo Falcon, good thing you have a generator. Look at you, fancy boy. Are you the generator? Do you like wrap metal wires around yourself and spin real fast like a transformer? Are you more than meets the eyes or more than meets the thighs? Get it? Meat spelled differently? Oh, I am a creative genius. Blaze, in that case, you're ready. All right, buddy. Kitsune! Looks like Courageous Critters is the whatever card we want to turn into a furry mini set thing. Okay, I expect a whole bunch of Planeswalkers, right? I expect that it's going to be a cavalcade of Planeswalkers and people's favorite legendary creatures. That's my guess. But who knows? If they had already determined they were going to do a bunch of weird creature versions of other things and had them kicking around, that's what it'll be. Doomblade, what's up? What do you got, like 2 days to your birthday, big boy? 2 days? 2 days till you're finally a man and can take a wife? Right? You're going to have to delete that one off your phone and download a new one. Planeswalkers and legendaries. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. Heavy metal, what? AI REM sleep? What? Yeah, my girl, both packs of Modern Horizons 3 you bought were duds. That sucks. But you enjoyed opening them? Well, there's a positive. That's good. And they had some cute junk you wanted to try in your deck? Well, that's not bad then. Gianna, you've lost 4 TVs because of power going in and out? You keep your TV on a UPS? Like the UPS trucks? To be delivered to wherever you go? Era's asking if you generate electricity by pedaling on a bike, Bo. That's funny. Drunkle, he's Dynamo from The Running Man. I've seen that, but I don't remember that dude. Heavy metal, you remember the power outage of 2003? It affected Michigan too for about 3 to 5 days. Wait a minute, would that be... That probably was like the same. It was probably the same one, maybe. I don't know. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. Is that how they can reprint Urza again? Well, they can put Urza into any set that's not like current times, right? Like they can put Urza into any Modern Horizon set, any Masters set. They could put him into, let's say, for example, Foundations, because Foundations won't have a story for it. It will just be a bunch of cards. So they could literally have Urza in Standard if they want to. Jess, do I believe in free will or is everything already predetermined? Well, there's a space in between those two concepts. I don't believe that everything is predetermined. Like, I don't think that what I'm going to do tonight, like, this wasn't predetermined, right? Right? Or let's say I just started punching myself in the dick. That's not predetermined. But the concept of free will is incredibly interesting because, like, it depends, first of all, on what you define as free will. If you think about it, we are, like, our conscious identities are just constructs of our subconscious, right? Like, there's no inherent thing about you that you think of as you that makes you you. So, for example, I'm funny and I fuck around and joke a lot, but something as simple as jamming an ice pick in my brain and hitting the right spot could fundamentally completely alter my personality into not really having a sense of humor, not liking to joke around, being a very serious dude, being interested in different things. I could become like a World War II fanatic or something like that, right? So there's nothing definable about you that is you. And one of the biggest ways to prove that you're not really in control and that your subconscious is the fact that you don't make up what you're going to say, right? Like, you don't make up what you're going to say. Basically, your brain feeds it to you. Because the amount of time it would take for you to sit there and pick out each individual word for a sentence consciously, put it together, and then speak it would be absurd, right? Like, how would you even have a conversation? So all the things that you're going to say are just fed to you by your subconscious, which is why when I say ridiculous things sometimes, I start laughing because I didn't think of it ahead of time. It just comes out. And that's how it is for everybody. So the concept of free will is absolutely fascinating, actually. Doomblade, it's the 10th? I thought it was the 9th, and that would be 3 more days, because today's the 7th. Shotter, do I know Dinotopia? I don't. It sounds like Fruitopia made out of dinosaurs. Kitsune, you like the Running Man movie? I feel like it didn't make much of an impression on me. I'd have to watch it again, I guess, to draw conclusions. Al, enjoying opening a pack is always more important than monetary value for your card packs. Well, it's easier to have enjoyment than to get ahead monetarily, so you're going to have a better experience with your packs, right? Keebler, look, man, I know about uninterrupted power supplies, but it wouldn't have been funny if I said that, right? Larry, correct. Foundations is core set. What up, Ralph? You used up all your English over in Moxman stream. By the way, good job showing him the fat love, buddy. I was thinking about it at the end of the stream, and I said it to Moxman as well. He's raising a good kid. I hung out with them. Like we've hung out a couple of different times, gone to a couple of different places across multiple days, and I gotta say, he's raising his kid right. That kid's got a good head on his shoulders. So he's gonna turn out like his dad, and he's gonna be a good dude. Drunkle, do I have an internal dialogue? Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? Have you not heard the way that I talk and how I go on? My mind isn't some empty void with whistling wind, bro. There is an internal monologue, an internal dialogue. I wish I could shut it off. I hear my voice in my head as my voice with the inflection and everything, right? There's some people who don't hear their own internal voice in their head. And then there's people who hear their own voice or just a voice, but it doesn't have their tone or whatever. There's people who hear their voice and it has their tone. And then there's people who hear their voice and it literally, like in my head, it sounds the same way I would speak it, with certain words enunciated in particular fashion, drawn out in ridiculous ways. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. Jess, that's wild to me. It's wild to me that people don't have an inner monologue. It's also wild to me that people can't visualize things internally and there's people who, when you're saying things to them, they don't actually picture it in their mind, which is wild to me because I have a super vivid imagination and I can conjure up whatever anybody's talking about and change it into whatever I want. I have an awesome brain, let's be real. I'm very, very lucky. My brain is fantastic. Ralph, that's why you did it? Well, you get the thumbs up from me for showing love to Moxman, because it's nice to see, like, Moxman works fucking hard. And that guy has a good spirit, and he cares about people genuinely. You 100% can't take the mark of somebody when you've only dealt with them online in, like, text form or whatever else, or maybe even when you've just seen their videos. But when you meet them in person and you spend a certain amount of time with them, it's hard to hide your essence, right? And ultimately, I have a lot of respect for Moxman. I'm glad we're friends. He's a good dude. He's a better dude than I am, 100%. Like, totally. Absolutely. Heavy Metal, you barbecued for the first time at your new house after finding the boxes with your seasoning and plates and gear. Nice, man. Barbecues rule. Kitsune, it's weird. There are preview cards coming from a Dark Souls YouTube on Tuesday. It's not that weird when you think about it like this. Wizards doesn't need to spend as much time giving spoilers to YouTube channels that are based on Magic because they're going to want to talk about that stuff anyways. Why get people who are already entrenched who are just going to talk about your game anyways when you can reach out beyond that? You find channels that are popular, right? Like, I was contacted by one channel that has millions and millions of subscribers that does not cover Magic, and they had been asked to do some stuff with Magic back in the Magic 30 days. And they told me about that, and they seemed really cool. They turned down the Magic 30 stuff. Unfortunately, they were very normal and level-headed, and I came off as like a crazy person to them. So they were basically like, they emailed me, but then communication ceased because they were probably like, I don't want to deal with this maniac. And I don't blame them. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Keebler, making it hard, buddy. You don't see how Karn could have an animal form on Bloomborough? Karn is essentially inorganic matter. He's a golem made from silver. Well, he's got a soul, right? He's got a soul stone, so he would be some kind of animal. Dragons and stuff can turn into animals. Why not, Karn? I got news for you. I got news for you, Larry. It's magic. It's magic, bitch! Do I have a song that plays in my head much of the time also? Oh, yeah. Like, I don't always have one particular song, but I can hear a little bit of a song and it will get in my head. Or songs will randomly spring into my head based on just like a little phrase that triggers it. 100% I can jukebox it up here quite easily. I've heard there are people who have mental issues that they get medicated for. And then they're like, the music's gone. And it's such a profound thing to say. Like, some of them seem unhappy about it, some of them seem happy about it, but it's genuinely absolutely fascinating, right? Like, there's a lot of useful medication out there that helps people, but in some ways, does it cut you off from part of what makes you you? And that's why I feel for people who are on medication they need to help regulate their mind, but then they feel like they're giving part of themselves up. So when they're feeling better, they want to try and live off the medication, but ultimately can't, right? That's rough. That's rough. Al, you don't have visual or auditory thinking. You can't explain how you think. It would probably be as alien to me as the way that I think would be alien to you. I have a brain that runs a mile a minute or even faster than that. Like, I'm really smart. I have a crazy imagination, and my brain is always, let's go, let's go, let's go, right? That's probably partially what drew me to smoking herb for so many years, is just trying to slow the motor down a bit, gain a little bit of maybe peace or a breather or something. Because an unregulated mind that just goes, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, and the dark undertones of existence don't mesh that well. You need tools to help you deal with that. So it is what it is. Ralph, yeah, bro, well, you know what? It's not all talk, man. I've seen it in reality. I've seen it in reality. You're here to chill and maybe get a good insult. Well, listen, man. Listen, you smell like peanut butter, but you smell like peanut butter that was on somebody else's ball sack. So suck on that like you sucked on those peanut butter ball bags. Al, you have no mind's eye. Like, you know what, bro? Who knows? Maybe that's a better existence. Maybe you just get to have a Zen calm, right? Like, for real, for real. You guys know how much I've talked recently about the struggles that I faced mentally. So I appreciate that you guys spent that time listening to me. And I've decided that I don't want to talk as much about that stuff. Partially because I don't need to as much anymore. I've actively been feeling better mentally. The exercises that I've been undertaking have made a genuine improvement. So part of the reason I called this stream the Good Times Chill stream is I want to focus on the good times. Millmaster says maybe you have a copy of Fantasia, that movie with Mickey Mouse. Jess, you can't go out without your meds. You'll go crazy in a few months and then end up, and then you'll end up like locked away for a bit. It's good that you understand that you need your medication, and it's excellent that it exists so you can take it and have a normal life, right? So I am incredibly thankful for the medical technology that exists, right? Because I've currently got pills that keep me from being in pain. Super happy about that. Carly's got multiple pills that help her manage her disability. Super grateful for that. So overall, I love medical technology. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it helpful? Abso-fucking-alutely. 100%. 100%. Al, well, you know what, buddy? Then yeah, enjoy the way your brain is, buddy. Heavy metal, you've been honestly hesitant with asking others if it's okay to have various songs playing. You've had it going on for decades. The song changed based on how you feel and how much sleep you had. Sounds normal to me, bro. I can wake up with a song in my head, in the shower, whatever else. Not all the time, but music is in my head a fair bit. And that just seems like a win. Why would that not be a win, right? But I can understand that you'd be worried about being judged, right? You'd be worried about people judging you negatively. Ralph, you love the peanut butter ball bag? Some people have PB and J. Other people have PB and jammed in your mouth. Millmaster, aphantasia is a phenomenon in which people are unable to visualize imagery. While most people are able to conjure an image of a seen object or face in their minds, people with aphantasia cannot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Jess, yep. I mean, medical technology is just going to get more and more impressive, especially once they figure out how to wrangle AI into speeding the process up, right? So it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet overall to live in a time where so many of the things that are wrong with us are at least somewhat understood, and some ways to sort it out have been figured out. What up, every day? How you doing, buddy? Al, it seems trippy to conjure an image that isn't there. Yeah, I guess it would if you don't have that normally going on. I constantly have it going on. Maybe I wouldn't, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't have been so good at conjuring. Like when I was in high school, things were really bleak to me because, I mean, if you follow things in existence far enough down the line, you're always going to end in darkness, right? And so perhaps if I didn't have the ability to visualize things like I did, I wouldn't have ended up doom-mongering in my brain, right? Millmaster, your little brother has it, but you have a photographic memory. See, I don't know how I'd feel about having a photographic memory. I'm not sure that I would actually enjoy that. Dreams you'd live to give someone your PB&D. They're starting to recreate old tech that used sound to vibrate apart cancer tumors. I thought they just stick the vibrator like right up your butt. What are you doing? I'm just demolishing your tumors. What? But they're in my brain. Don't worry, I'm gonna get there. Al, are you real or are you just computer generated? People put forth that we're in a simulation thing. For me, it's pointless. It doesn't matter. If it's a simulation, it doesn't matter. Why would that change anything that you're doing? If it's not a simulation, what does it matter? This is the one existence you've been given, so you may as well enjoy it, regardless of how it's been fabricated. But for me personally, I think the idea of this all being a simulation is horseshit, right? Yeah, Magoro, sometimes music has a shape for you. It's crazy that there are people who see sounds in colors or can taste sound. That's wild. That's wild. Trustworthy, you work in the pharmaceutical industry? All right. All right. Well, now I know who to talk to when I want some pills, buddy. When I want my butthole filled with Zoloft. You'll be my trustworthy friend. Jess says, only the universe can generate the universe. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I never believed in the whole this is all fake and a simulation or whatever. To me, this is reality, baby. It's the real deal. You know how I know it's the real deal? Because I was able to get the deal of the century on this bag of salt and vinegar chips right here, yo. Right here. I price matched this bag of chips. Instead of paying $4.79, I paid $2.77. Right? Right? Like, bro, is that not amazing? I'm genuinely super stoked about it. I was like, yo, I want a bag of Ruffles. I'm going to look. I've got an app that lets me price match stuff. I'm going to look it up. And the deal was so good that I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was like, what? Also, I was confused because this was a deal at Walmart. And Walmart had two deals. You could get bags of Ruffle chips for $2.77 or you could get them for $2.97. And I'm just like looking. I'm like, is one an online deal? No, they're both in-person deals. What? What? Jess, that's 2002 prices? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, juggle them some. Damn right it's a good deal. That's right, Millmaster. That's right. Because it's a medical necessity to fill my butt with drugs, but not with barks. Al, everything has the option to be seen as a weight, or it can be seen as a way to be used to better the lives of yourself and others. I agree with you that in principle, most things can be turned around and you can view them in a positive light. Absolutely. Not everything, obviously, but still. Still. Yeah, dreams, it's all good. I don't think I'm not trapped in some solipsism nightmare where I think I'm the only person who's real. That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. Al, I got the ridges for saving money. That's right. That's right. My wallet ain't ridged, son. Yeah, Magoro! Hell yeah, salt and vinegar flavor's pretty good. Ruffle salt and vinegar is top tier. Kenzuki says 277 Canadian is like free in freedom dollars. Yeah, that would be like under $2. Under $2 for the bag of Ruffles for you. Larry, somebody on YouTube played one of the Matrix video games and tried to gaslight the NPCs into believing they were living in a simulation. Is the game programmed well enough to even allow that? Al, no, it's confusing. It's confusing because Ruffles was like, Walmart was selling bags of Ruffles for either $277 or $297. Normally they sell them for like $4.50 or whatever. It made no sense. It made no sense. Nathan, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't like salt and vinegar, then you're just missing out. You're missing out on the literally, these are the best chips on the planet. And you can't even enjoy them. So that's your loss, big boy. That's your loss. What up, Trevor? How you doing? How you doing? Dreams, I got news for you, buddy. I like doing this so much. Like, you're trying to play we're not a simulation. Don't wake up. Stay here. If this was a simulation, I would stay here. I'd be like Cypher in the Matrix. I'd be like, put me back. I know it ain't real, but I get to live my dream. I get to fucking make videos and do live streams and shit. So if this ain't real, I don't want to be in reality, son. Jess, yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You can totally butt drink booze, but it's real bad for you. It's real bad for you. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Juggle 'em, salt and vinegar, your favorite. The stronger, the better. Well, the ridges keep all that goodness in them. Rain, so would it be possible to have a video dedicated to how to cut costs on shopping? Call it Hatcher's Hacks. I don't have that many tips. So, I mean, price matching is one of the best ways that I know of that you can cut costs, where get an app. I got an app on my phone called Reebee. I don't know if they got the same thing for the States, but it literally takes the flyers for all the different grocery stores and you can type in what you're going to get. The biggest hassle for me is actually remembering to use it and not coming home from the store afterwards and going, why didn't I look things up? And then looking them up afterwards and going, oh, I could have paid less. So price matching, getting coupons wherever you can, using membership programs that they have, because a lot of stores will give you like points for shopping there and have discounts for being members, and those programs are free. And then also like when they're just take advantage of deals. If they're selling particular meat cheaply, you grab more of that, freeze it, like stretch it out more, you know? Al, yup. The price of things certainly have gone up, buddy. It's not something I enjoy dwelling on, actually. Price matching and coupons are good. Being an adult, when a great deal happens, you get excited for saving money. Al, bro, I get super excited for saving money. Are you kidding me? Every dollar counts. It all counts, man. Like, I get excited when I find out, oh, I can get some interest on saving money by doing this or whatever else. Like I get like getting cash back on a credit card is amazing. It's amazing. I had real problems with credit in the past, was really dumb with it, and I learned to live without credit because I was stupid with credit when I was like young and just starting as an adult because I didn't understand what a trap it was, and I didn't understand how bad it was to have interest working against you. So I wasn't paying off my credit card. I was making minimum payments, and the credit companies were happy to let me just, here's more rope to hang yourself with, idiot. You know what I mean? So I ended up massively in debt to the point where I couldn't pay it, and it got really stressful, and I had to go through this whole program to resolve it. But that taught me to respect like my money and not get into debt. And the process of paying the debt back off was done in installments over years. So that gave me the dedication to constantly be able to like resolve payments like that, right? So I stayed away from debt altogether for a very long time, which meant I didn't even have a credit card for so long that when I finally decided it was time to get a credit card, I thought my credit was going to be awful because of the problems that I had in the past. But it had been so long since I had resolved the problems that they were just like, "Oh no, you're fine. Like you can go for, oh wait, no, sorry, that's not right. That's not right. I got a secured card to start with where you give them money. You give them more money than the credit card balance so that you can't go wrong." I did that on purpose though. I didn't ask what my credit was or if I could have a card without that. I specifically wanted to make sure that I couldn't hose myself. So I saved up until I had $600 and could get a $500 credit card with it, right? And so then I just used that credit card sparingly here or there because I didn't really think about the bonus stuff. It was like, credit cards were for things that it's like you need a credit card to pay for or whatever. Like online purchases that you can't pay for in cash. So I used the credit card very, very rarely, and I immediately paid it off. Like as soon as I was done making the transaction, I would log into my bank and pay the credit card, right? And so that took me from having bad credit. By the time I was trying to get into this building here, because they do credit checks on you, I was like, I don't know what it's going to take to get in. I might have terrible credit and all this stuff. And then I actually did one of those credit reports on myself and found out, oh no, you have good credit now. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Hey, speaking of amazing, Kensuke with the cool guy glasses, thanks for the super sticker, big boy. You're Lord of the Board. So then I learned, oh, wait a minute. My credit card actually has a bonus points system, and they give more points if you buy like groceries or like your pharmacy medications and stuff with it. So every once in a blue moon, I get like $25 in free money just from buying stuff. Like for real. That's amazing. It's amazing. Do you know how awesome that feels? Where it's like, I'm not paying the credit card company any interest. They're paying me for using the credit card. And I always pay my stuff off instantly. I don't even play that game of, well, if I leave the money in the bank for a few weeks, I can maybe gain interest on it or whatever. Especially since most of the purchases I make on my credit card aren't very big in the first place, right? But when I decided that I wanted a higher credit limit, I thought that I was going to have to save up more to get the limit put up. But because I'd done such a good job with my card, they went, yeah, we'll up your limit, no problem. And I was just like, oh, awesome. Awesome. Al, 2% cash back. Nice. I think I get like 0.5%, something like that. Trustworthy, you use a PayPal card for cash back. I think that's only like in America. Jess, you're $220 in debt? Well, you know what? At least that's a manageable amount of money. I was tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and it was honestly terrifying. Think about it now. I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad that I got all that resolved. It took me many years to straighten it out, get everything paid, all of it. All of it. Shotter, you have an awful visual memory, so if you want to draw something, you need to trace it multiple times until muscle memory does it. It's good that you found a method that works for you, bro. Al, yeah, responsible adult to have restrictions in place for not wanting to overdraft. I don't have overdraft on my accounts. I don't do that. I don't accept overdraft. I don't want it. I'm not going into it. I will find a way to pay for what I need to pay for or do without. That's it. That's it. I avoid anything like that like the plague because of what I did in the past. So I'm more responsible now, but I also keep limits. I would never want a credit card with some insanely huge limit. I don't want access to a bunch of money that's not mine. What I'd prefer to do is slowly but surely increase what I have bit by bit. You know what I mean? A little bit of money, get it, earn some interest on it, save what I can, have emergency fund, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Larry, you took a course called Money Matters, and one of the most important lessons you learned was not to use a money lending service because of the high interest rates. Yeah, like the interest rates on those places are beyond predatory. Like because they classify themselves as short-term loans, they can basically dance around the legal restrictions. Like credit card companies can charge almost 30% interest, which is insane. Insane. Like pretty much a full third of what you owe they can add on each year. That's wild. But those money lender ones, they literally can be charging you hundreds and hundreds of percent interest in a year. It's insane. I'm surprised that it's even legal at all, right? And they literally have a business that's set up on trying to keep you in poverty so that you constantly have to come back for a new loan. So it's like a cyclical thing where they're basically going, it's like they're garnishing your wages essentially, right? So I do not like payday loan companies. I do not believe in that. And I think most of the people who are using them aren't using them as a one-off. They are getting stuck in cycles of being taken advantage of. And it's super scuzzy. Super scuzzy. Heavy Metal, you strategize cashback cards and zero interest promos. Nice. Nice. Trustworthy, you think the best way to save money is to literally have gold and silver coins? I don't know about any of that. I don't know about precious metals, storing them, buying them, selling them. That all feels dicey to me. For me, the thing that makes me most comfortable is having money in a bank account that pays interest, right? You see, oh, look, I made like $1.25 in interest this month. It feels good. That feels good. It's like I didn't pay the bank any fees, and I've got $1.25 just for not spending my money. You just get money for having money. It's amazing. It's the most magical hack in all of existence, it feels like. They literally legalize loan sharks. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, 100%. Yamaguro, you get a yearly cash back from using your Visa. You just don't spend more than you can afford each month. Well, that's smart. That's smart. Al, bro, you can get 5% interest? Oh my God. What? That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, the bank accounts here, the big banks pay like 0.1%. Credit unions, like the ones that give the higher amounts, will give you 2%. 2% feels juicy to me. 5% is amazing. Are you kidding me? Heavy Metal, you paid off all your credit card debt when you were deployed last year. Then you made a lot of intoxicated purchases over last year's holidays that you had to tackle before the no interest promo ends. You can do it. You can do it, buddy! I was so dumb when I was young. I took cash advantages and bought smoke with it. Like, talk about your mortgage in your future. The current version of Mike hosed over the future version of Mike. Now I play the game of try and make future Mike's life easier. You know, where you just go, oh, you know what? Like future Mike next month will have a couple dollars more than current Mike did. That's a win. You're not down, you're ahead. Doesn't matter how much you're ahead. There are people who will sneer at that, but there are some people who are doing really well. More power to them. Either they got lucky or did things right and they have a whole bunch of money or know how to invest and whatever, but I'm really afraid of losing money. Like really afraid of it. So I stay away from any like, you could lose your money. You could end up behind from this. So I guess I also lose out on bigger swings. Millmaster Super Chat says, saw an ammo vending machine at Supermart today. Thanks for the Super Chat. Is the Supermart a convenience store? An ammo vending machine? That feels like dystopian to me, honestly. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on why the concept makes me feel uneasy, but it absolutely does. Millmaster, loading that board, big boy. See, trustworthy, that mentality is useless for me. Saying interest is canceled through inflation, your interest isn't canceled. You're just able to fight against your money eroding, right? Like, I never got interest before. So if my money's worth less the next year, well, guess what? I don't have anything to offset that. So it is what it is, right? Jess, I don't like to think about all the money I wasted on smoking over the years and how it could have been more appropriately used, because that's genuinely depressing. What I like to do is be happy that I have developed the proper mentality that stops me from making stupid short-term choices like that. And so that going forwards, I won't have the same depletion. It's a gas station convenience store. That's wild. That's wild. What up, Moogle? How's it going, buddy? Look, there. You guys are both saying it. Moogle and Chad are both saying ammo vending machine sounds like Borderlands. It does. It does. Kentucky, you get $1,500 in credit card rewards a year? Wow, nice. Being a parent is expensive. Fair enough. Fair enough. Trustworthy, you can get 4.5% on long bonds now. I don't really understand bonds, honestly. I don't understand that stuff 100%. So, but I definitely understand what 4.5% is, and that's juicy. That's juicy. Gianna, you think outside of school feels shamefully American? I doubt it'll get to that point. Ammo vending machine, it's the circus of value, like BioShock. It's like multiple games. Yeah, trustworthy, like I said, man, I don't know anything about those commodities, so that's not something. I feel like when it comes to your money, it's not smart to, if you're going to invest your money or whatever, it's not smart to put it in things you don't understand, right? I feel like that's how you lose your money. Millmaster, you know, the machine said it used facial recognition and it moved towards the crunchy bar. You're like, I just want a chocolate bar. I don't need an ammo machine to read my face. Juglum, guns don't, the concept of people having guns doesn't scare me. But the concept of just like what do you need? You're gonna go to you're gonna go to a vending machine for ammo. Who are you robbing? Like, do you know what I mean? The quick and easy need for it, just it says to me, are you doing legal things with it? You know, that's all. That's all. I mean, bro, Canada has like a crazy amount of guns, like a crazy amount. Al, you think CDs are more sound than stocks and bonds? Oh wait, aren't those like the equivalent of GICs? Bonds lock up your money for a fixed time and rate. Oh, that's like GICs. They have those here, guaranteed investment certificates. Trevor, your girl's hockey cost $250,000 over 15 years. You're gonna have to sell the kids to make up that loss. Trustworthy, you're mostly a stock trader, to be clear. Oh, that's cool. Like day trading or whatever. There was a dude who I worked with at one of the call centers. He worked in like the banking industry. He worked in finance. And then things went south at that time. So he kind of stepped away because everyone was getting sued and stuff. And he just wanted to have a job in the meantime. So he was working in the call center with me. But he was talking about investing in companies that are using algae to make plastic and stuff. And like, he made $3,000 in a week from one stock transaction. And I'm just like, he showed me his portfolio. It was just this big crazy thing, right? This was when I was still just struggling to pay off my debt. So I know nothing about commodities. I know nothing about stocks, any of that kind of stuff. One day, if I have like, I feel like that's a one day thing for me. If I get to the point where I have enough money that I can try investments where you could theoretically lose your money, but if you're making smart choices and paying attention and you're not just doing stuff randomly, then you can come out ahead. That's the kind of stuff I might try. Millmaster, there was a magic YouTuber that switched to day trading content. Are you from the future? Was it me? I hope it's me. I hope it's me. I hope you're from a future where I'm rich. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Trustworthy, you sometimes make 2,000 in a day. Damn. Damn. Sometimes you lose the same in a day. Ooh. I don't know. I don't even know how I could deal with the emotional gut punch, you know? Drunkle, your Korean bank gives you 5.6% interest on your checking and savings accounts? What? And they also hold crypto on their servers, so you're at less risk than an exchange? Huh. Man, that sounds awesome. Heavy metal, you want to get more into investing, but you're going through some big life changes? Fair enough. If you update the house, you'll probably do okay. Well, you can always do that in the future, right? You got a stable job. Real estate, Al, real estate also, like, you need a lot of money, right? You need a lot of money. Oh, that's one thing we don't have to worry about here in Canada, the whole, like, bank shutting down thing. All the banks here are insured by the government. So if you like, if the bank is going to close down, the government will replace your money up to like $100,000. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. The Canadian banking stuff is way more regulated than American banking. So like, we don't have like, oh, this bank folded and it's going to start a chain reaction or whatever. Banks don't really fold in Canada. They just exist. Kensuke says, imagine you go to use that vending machine and what you bought gets stuck. So you gotta buy another. I think it's just ammo though. I don't think they're letting you buy the actual armaments too, Kensuke. Heavy metal, you spend a lot of your income on near-term happiness. Well, what's wrong with that? Honestly, like, life is short, and spending money on what brings you joy while not jeopardizing your future seems totally fine to me. Pele says, look at the bright side. You are rich compared to where you were, Hatch. You're right. You're right. Bro, I'm not complaining about my spot at all. I'm in awe of the people who can do this. I'm very cool where I am because you're right. Things were incredibly hard. Life was super brutal. I can afford groceries now. You don't, well, maybe you do know because you've experienced it too, but I don't know. I don't know what your life is like. But I remember the shame I felt when I couldn't provide enough money for us to get anything close to a reasonable amount of groceries. And I was eating peanut butter sandwiches that were one slice of bread folded in half with some peanut butter on it and eating the chicken that is just white fluff. Like, there was a deep level of shame whenever Carly asked me how much money we had for food and stuff like that. It just, I felt really bad about myself. And now our fridge has a whole bunch of food in it. We had an awesome dinner tonight. Like, I get to eat good food. Carly's a great cook. I feel very fortunate. Jess' super chat says, I have to quit smoking weed and energy drinks so I can save for future pet vet bills and other important things. It's time to stop. They're important. Bro, excellent job. Excellent job. You are Lord of the Board. Thank you for the super chat. And Jess, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for finding a reason that's important enough for you to make the choices that are going to make your life better. The reality is, you don't need to be getting fucked up all the time. You can be perfectly happy without getting high. And on top of that, the more you get high, the less it has an effect. So you're just throwing away more money to be not even as like having a good time. I didn't word that perfectly, but you get what I'm saying, bro. You get the double thumbs up. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna give you a special star on the board, buddy. Well done. Well done. You get a star. You get a star because you're making a real good choice. You're making a real good choice. Yeah, trustworthy. I know Rudy over at Alpha Investments used to be in all that finance stuff before he started doing what he's doing. 100%. Pele, you lived in a car for 6 months and were eating food thrown out by the Pizza Hut. Okay, then obviously you know the struggle as well, buddy. I'm glad that you don't have to live like that anymore. Millmaster is just pregnant? Yes, he's pregnant with wisdom. He is filled with wiseness now. It's good that you love your pets and want to take care of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Me and Carly will be getting a dog in the future. That's one of the things that I'm saving up for, because I told her we can't get a dog until we have an emergency fund for the dog, because you don't know what kind of problems we're going to run into. So we've got a plan. I've been saving towards it. Once we reach the right levels, then it's time to save up the money to actually get the dog, and we will be adding a dog to our family. She is very excited about it. It is absolutely going to happen, but it will take time. Potts, it might sound like an after-school special, but having those adult responsibilities start to click and fall into place feels amazing. Absolutely. I feel very proud that I can take care of Carly, because I don't want her to have to go and work, because her disability means that when she goes to work, her body gets worse and worse. And that's what happened. Like, she got a job for a while, not because she needed to have one, because she wanted to go out into the workforce. I was still able to pay for everything. She went and got a job, a part-time one, working in a place that hires old ladies. And just the physical demands of this shop that's literally like old ladies and stuff was too much for her, and it overwhelmed her body, and she started to get worse and worse and had to wear all these braces and stuff like things were before when we were learning about her disability, because we didn't know what was wrong with her. So I count one of the biggest marks of my success is that Carly doesn't have to wear like 15 braces, and she doesn't have to wake up sad that she's got to go to a place and work and deal with all this crap, right? So my goal is to make it so that she never has to work again, but she would if we absolutely needed it to get by. I don't see that ever happening, because I'll just take on more work myself, right? I'll do whatever it takes. But yeah, adult responsibilities can be stressful. Having people who depend on you that you need to care for can be stressful, but it's stressful because it's worthwhile what you're doing, you know? Drungle, you remember the struggles of New York, overdrafting to buy some bread and such after 2 days of not eating and adding 15 to the cost of a few sandwiches? It's crazy that being poor is the most expensive thing on earth. It's so grody that, like, and I didn't realize this until I wasn't like 1000% struggling. And I'm like, wait, now that I have a little bit of money saved and whatever, it gets easier. They take more from you when you're poor. It's like if you're getting hosed, they just hold you down and ream you, bro. It's the worst. It's the worst. Dogs are more loyal than most pets. I'm a dog lover, man. I'm a dog lover. Pele, you're absolutely right, man. Planning and financial self-regulation go a long way. Also, opportunity and access to funds, all of that. I was extremely fortunate that all of this happened to me, and a bunch of people came together to support and help me with what I do, man. I will be forever infinitely grateful for all of the people who chose to be a patron or send money to me through PayPal, especially when I started. Like somebody's just like, yo, I sent you some money through PayPal. Go get some food, bro. And I looked at it and I was just like, oh my God, like we can get a whole bunch of food with this. This is amazing. We're going to the grocery store. Like I was just talking to Carly yesterday about how awesome it is we can afford all the bus rides now. It used to be like, okay, we're going to the grocery store. We're going to have to go for a 45-minute walk there together because we can't afford to take the bus there and back. And we have to take the bus back because we're transporting all the groceries, right? Like, it's wild. Raise Grace, Super Chat says, for the dog fund, I just farted and my cat passed out. You need to see a doctor. You need to see a doctor. Ashmi, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Al says, stress happens when there are stakes, but when there are stakes, you also have motivation. Absolutely. Like, before, I didn't care what happened to me, for real. And I didn't realize how much I didn't care about what happened to me, but I wouldn't replace batteries and smoke detectors and stuff because I didn't care about going onwards, right? But now that I've got Carly riding on my shoulders, I can't fall the fuck down. Because if I do, she hits the ground hard. No way. I ain't letting it happen. You know what I mean? It's like that. So yeah, it can be stressful, but it's the biggest motivation ever. Having somebody you genuinely care for that you can't let down. That's it. It's not an option for me. I mean, obviously, theoretically, yes, you can, but for me, it is not an option. That is not a possibility. What up, Thompson? How you doing, buddy? You were looking at some of the Duskmorn cards? I'm liking the vibe of Duskmorn. It definitely doesn't fit into Magic's normal vibe, but I have come to terms with that, and I'm judging different properties based on themselves instead of just going, it's not swords and sorceries, I don't want it. If people want to go that route, that's their choice, and that's cool. I'm individually viewing worlds. Didn't like Markov Manor, did not like Thunder Junction, love Bloomborough so much, and Duskmorn looks cool. So I'm actually quite positive about the next number of months with Magic. Gianna, after you left the military, your mental health was so bad you ended up homeless. When you're at your worst, you miss the simplicity of just surviving. I understand that. There have been times in my life where that kind of scenario has seemed like it would be easier to deal with, 100%. And like homeless ladies specifically, they pull, like, I feel bad for anybody who's homeless, but like homeless women on the street, that cuts way deeper. It cuts way deeper to me. That's just my nature, 100%. Like 100%. It's like, it's pretty much impossible for me to walk by some lady begging on the street and not give her something out of my pocket. Unless I have nothing on me, like it always happens. If I don't stop and do it, I don't know how many steps I get down the road before it's like, you got to go back and give her something, man. Are you kidding me? Did you not see that? Look at her. Look at the state she's in. Go give her some money, you fuck. Right? Like, for real. That's why I've said to Kyla, I'm like, I got to go back. I got to go back. You know, like, I have to. It's, sometimes I give money to homeless dudes. I always do to homeless ladies. Always. I just feel like if a woman's in a homeless situation, that's way more dire, you know? And that's not to downplay the situation other people are in. Wait, wasn't the stream called the Happy Good Times stream? What the hell happened? What did I do? How did we get here? What am I doing? Raise, you need a doctor or to review your fiber intake? You should go see a doctor. Al, you're right. I have come a long way in life over the past several years. I'm plump and more composed. It's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Jess, you're lucky you've never been homeless. I'm lucky I've never been homeless too. 100%, man. Drunkle, you don't like the 80s technology? I don't have a problem with it because I'm viewing the set as a horror set, like from the 80s and whatever, and stuff like chainsaws I think of from the Evil Dead and stuff, right? So I'm just like, yep, I'm cool with it. Jess, you've never been late on rent? Yeah, I've always found a way to make sure my rent is paid. I might struggle with food and other things, but I've always made sure the rent is paid. Moogle, I make others happy so it still fits. Well, thanks, buddy. Thanks for finding a way to connect it to the stream title. I appreciate it. Al, it weighs on a heart to see people struggling. That's how you know you're a good person, bro. That's how you know you're a good person. Caring about other people and seeing them in a hurting situation and hoping they get out of it. And sometimes helping them when you can, right? Millmasters Super Chat says, if you need financial perspective, the average global household income is $12,235 per year. There are a lot of people who have a really hard struggle. I feel extremely fortunate at this point. Got money for food. I've got like shirts and stuff. Carly is very, very good with our money. She works every deal she can with the grocery store stuff. She finds the deals, goes to all the different places, travels around, gets us the best prices. Like when she gets chicken breasts, she'll slice them all in half so we can get twice as many meals out of them. She does all this excellent stuff that genuinely helps us as a unit. Also, she goes out to places like what's it called? Like Goodwill and pick.
I heard you talking about me.
Take it all back!
Yeah.
She's a sneak! She's a dirty little sneak!
The door opening.
Because I'm busy listening to myself and staring at myself. I was looking at my shirt thinking about it.
Yeah, looking at yourself. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. All this man, how could I not, girl? Come get you some. Mwah, 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 mwah. Mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rub it.
I do work the deals.
Yeah, sure do. And I appreciate everything you do to help what we do work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now get the fuck out of here.
All right, just keep talking about me.
All right, let me tell you how much I hate my wife. I hate my wife. Heavy Metal, you've actively held back on negative comments to support the happy stream. Thumbs up, buddy. But you were homeless for a few months back in 2006. Well, I'm glad it was so long ago, bro. And at this point, it probably just gives you something to happily compare your current setup to. I think about back when eating those peanut... I was thinking how I had to use a tea bag like 8 to 10 times, right? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Trustworthy, you're so used to stress that it doesn't bother you? Well, I'm envious. I'm envious, bro. What up, Galindo, Lindo, Lindo, Lindo? Don't show your ball bag to me, or I will kick it again. How you doing, bro? How you doing? Al, I clearly don't hate her. Shh, I don't want her to know. I rule Carly through mental abuse and fear, right? I keep Carly's self-esteem low so she doesn't try and divorce me. Dreams, I am just fun to rub. That's it. That's it. Jess, she's the best thing to ever happen to me. Correct. That's absolutely true. Carly says she just stands outside the door waiting for me to talk about her. That's funny. That's funny. Millmaster, you had a good night? You introduced your nieces and nephew to the Ghostbusters and have salted watermelon? Sounds great. Sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, that's right. Right now I'm full of the delicious chicken parm that Carly made for dinner. It's so good. It's so good. There was so much food. It's funny. She put so much food on the table, and then at the end of the meal, she has the temerity to ask me, did you have enough to eat? And I'm like, the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, I had too much to eat. Too much. Galindo, you're doing good. Just enjoying life at your house? Nice. Listening to me while you clean your gun. I don't know, man. When I picture somebody cleaning their gun, just listening to me, it sounds like you're going to try and hunt me for sport. And I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. Oh, that's right, too. Carly made garlic bread to go with this big dinner and told me we're having garlic bread, and I got excited about it. She put so much food on the table that I forgot about the garlic bread. So afterwards, she opens the air fryer and it's like, look, there's the garlic bread. And I was just like, oh, so we each had like one bite of it so that it was like, well, at least we had some. That's cool by me, man. That's cool by me. It's so nice to just be like full and eat as much as you want. So full it's making me yawn, bro. I'm boring myself, I guess. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Larry, I heard that one is good. Gerthulu, how you doing, buddy? Galindo, you're thinking about applying to another job where it pays nearly $10 more an hour, but you'll put in around 70 hours a week? Damn, bro, you're going to be fucking rich. I mean, I guess there is the trade-off of all your time, right? So that must be what you're like balancing your considerations. But that's awesome, man. It's sweet that you have that level of opportunity. Larry, you bought it on DVD tonight? Well, that's got to be a nice feeling, man. Having a movie that you genuinely enjoy on disc makes me happy to have things like that. 100%. 100%. Frozen Empire and Afterlife are more child and family friendly, but they're still both watchable. I've seen the Afterlife one, and it wasn't too bad. It didn't knock my socks off, but I didn't hate it. I have not seen Frozen Empire yet, but I do actually want to. So I'm going to note that down because I want to watch it. I've heard that the movie is disjointed. Like, it's almost like a bunch of different movies happening at the same time. Like it was made for the TikTok generation that just cares about moments rather than an ongoing cohesive story. Heavy metal, haven't heard temerity in a long time. I like archaic words. I find it amusing that online dictionaries like spell checkers and stuff have had certain older words that aren't in common usage removed. So it will underline when I use words like sprightly. And it's like, this is spelled wrong. No, it is not. Sprightly is a word, you piece of shit. You're the fucking word. Like, you're the spell checker. You should have all of the words. What the hell is this? Right? I guess that's part of being somebody who likes old school high fantasy, you know, all of that. You end up running into like words like accosted, right? Like I remember playing D&D with my buddies. I was DMing and I was like, okay, you made it through the forest unaccosted. And my friend's like, that's not a word. I'm like, it absolutely is. Fuck you. And we got into a big argument. And that was back in the days where you better have a dictionary on hand because there was no internet to check anything, right? So he had to wait until he got a dictionary to go, okay, I checked it and you're right. It's like, I know I'm right. I know words better than you, you fuck. Al, you think work is using your youth to earn money for old age? I think there's also the aspect of current living too, though, right? You want to take care of yourself in the future, but you don't want to neglect yourself in the current time for a future that may never come as well. You got to find that balance. Like when I first started getting a little bit of money, I didn't want to spend a single dollar of it on anything. I wanted to keep it all in case there was any kind of problem for the future or whatever else. And it took a while before I was able to ease up a bit and spend some money on enjoyable things instead of just absolute necessities, right? Jess, have I ever watched Rick and Morty? Yeah, I've seen all of Rick and Morty. It's great. It's great. Millmaster, you got the 30th anniversary 4K copy of the original Ghostbusters? That's sweet, bro. That's sweet. Dreams, the amount of times autocorrect got mad at you for typing fairy and not fairy with a Y. Yeah. Nishimoto, you got into an argument over the word intimated because the guy I was talking to didn't think it was a word. Whoa. Well, some people don't know the words. What are you going to do? Gianna, you recently had to explain to your son how there was almost no such thing as free porn on the internet before 1998. Yeah, kids these days have it way too easy. They don't know what it's like to stay up till midnight watching Showcase to watch a movie to see maybe a minute of titties and the ridiculous movies you ended up watching because of it. Where you watched a movie called Boxing Helena, where there was a chick with no arms and legs, and you got to see her jugs, but she's got no arms and legs! Like, how am I supposed to work with that? Right? What am I supposed to do with that? Or that one movie where the little boy bangs the family's side of beef and then puts it back in the fridge, and then the lady pulls her boobs out and squirts milk into the one guy's mouth. Like, I never would have seen those movies if I could have just gone online and looked at naked ladies, right? Yeah, Ashmead, exactly. You're like, no, this money needs to be saved for a root canal or for whatever problems. You got it. Galindo, have I seen Delicious in Dungeons? I've never even heard of it. What is it? What is it? Jess, you have all the Rick and Morty but haven't started watching yet? Only seen like 10 episodes? Rick and Morty is a very intelligent show that masquerades as being stupid. And it's funny because it makes dumb people think they're smart because they watch it. So it's interesting. But I love Rick and Morty. It's great. Absolutely great. Al, yep, I remember the scrambled channels. You can hear moaning in the background, and you're like, "Am I looking at the ball of a foot, a knee? Is that a titty? Is there where's the nipple? You know, I remember that. I remember that. Trustworthy, your dad had a few magazines and VHS hidden. Yeah, I remember finding my granddad's Playboy stash and how bizarre it was because one of them had LaToya Jackson in it. And LaToya Jackson had the same face as Michael Jackson, but a rockin' body. So it was really disturbing to see such a hot body, but with Michael Jackson's face. You know, like, Habanero, what's up, buddy? You were listening to a podcast today, and they said they were reading an excerpt that used the word sallow correctly with proper context, and assumed it was a typo for shallow since they had never seen it. I mean, that's understandable. That's understandable. Some of these words, they don't show up very frequently, right? So, Sears catalog, yeah, but Al, the ladies in those had like beige, giant mom bras on. That sucked. That sucked. Mailmaster, you jiggle a knife in the cable box slot to get Skinamax to show up? I didn't know you could do that. Delicious in Dungeons is an anime on Netflix. It's about eating monsters to last longer in dungeons. Oh, that's fun. So yeah, man, kids these days, they got it easy in that way, but I feel sorry for them because the internet is definitely double-edged, right? Sure, it gives you easy access to jugs and stuff, but like, I fear for the socialization of the kids. And they don't know how to have conversations. They don't know how to start conversations, all that kind of stuff, right? That's what I read somewhere. So, I mean, they're just like, they're used to being on their phones. Actually, I was watching these two kids flirt today outside. I could see them. And like, it made me think of when I was a kid, but they both had cell phones they kept looking at too. So they would interact with each other, but then they'd keep looking at their phones and doing stuff. And it just felt very strange. It's a dungeon adventure and cooking show as well. Yeah, Galindo, that's cool. That kind of makes me think, there was the one food show, the food anime that me and Carly watched, where they did like food battles And it was absolutely absurd, but also actually taught you genuinely useful cooking techniques that Carly picked up. Al, I agree with you. I like having a wider range of words to choose from. I'm glad that I have an expansive vocabulary. Ashmead, you remember the first time you saw your son on an ultrasound? You made a joke about how it reminded you watching TV as a kid, and nobody else understood the joke, and you felt so old. Yeah, I can see how that'd make you feel old, bro. Shotter, people who escape to chatbot AI for kinky talks are absolutely doomed. Honestly, I feel like it's like that movie Her, where it's like people are going to get into relationships with AI and then never connect with real people. Well, Galindo, thanks for cluing me into the show, bro. I'll check it out. Habanero, you've heard of the Delicious in Dungeons as well. It has fantastic world building, and it does it through the food and the anime. I like that. I like that. Anime adaptation of Witch Hat Atelier got announced a few days ago. I feel like I might have seen something about that, Cthulhu. Al, yeah, I mean it's a different experience to grow up without the internet. Like the internet wasn't a thing anybody used until I was like 15. And even then, we used it minimally. It wasn't like something you spent all day on that was like enmeshed in every part of your life, but it very much is now, right? Dreams, Food Wars, that's the one. Juggling, you also got it, Food Wars. Larry, the iPad kid generation is going to be the most socially awkward generation. Yup. I don't know what the hell Skidooby Dooby toilet is. I know people keep mentioning it. I have no idea what it is, and I refuse to look it up. I absolutely refuse to look it up. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I can go my whole life without knowing it. I don't care, you know? Dreams, I realize there are people already have that already have AI girlfriends. Those aren't those are not I don't believe that there are AIs that are sophisticated enough yet to make for a real girlfriend, honestly. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, you know? So, I don't I saw like AI boyfriend app games or whatever, but it looks like dumb garbage. It's not, it can't compete with real people. You know what I mean? Ashmead, we were before the home computer. Yup. Yup. I remember when they first started putting computers into classrooms. And we didn't really, there was one computer in the back of the classroom that was barely used for anything, you know? Nishimoto, you remember budgeting time into your trip to take 15 minutes to print out directions from dot matrix printers. Oh my god, dot matrix printers with the feed wheels, with the spikes, man. And then they go off track and you're like, fuck! Sewer germ, I look, man, I don't even know what the hell that means, honestly. Reading your sentence doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, Galindo, my generation was introduced to the internet but did not grow up with it. And I'm glad because basically I'm not going to be like other old folk in that, like, I'm used to constantly changing technology that I need to adapt to. But I also learned to socialize normally without the hindrance of all this digital stuff and having to maintain an online presence. Well, like, good lord, like the whole, oh, we're going to bully you through your Instagram nonsense. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Dreams, yeah, I believe people can get emotionally attached to these AI algorithms. Just wait until it gets like more honed in. Then it'll get really wild. Then it'll get really wild. Gianna, there was one football player who had the fake online girlfriend. Turned out he's being fished. One of my neighbors, one of my neighbors got scammed by somebody in Africa pretending to be a chick, and like, honestly, when he showed me the pictures, like, this is my girlfriend, I didn't say it out loud, but in my head, I was like, she's way too good looking for you, man. You're borderline mentally disabled and, like, gross. You don't take care of yourself. Your home is disgusting. I went to borrow pepper from him one day, and I never should have. First of all, I didn't need that view into his home. Um, but yeah, he gave me his pepper, and I held it like he gave it to me, and I took it from him. As soon as he closed his door, I held it like this. The top of the it was one of those big pepper things with the dual flat tops. One is like a big open mouth, and the other is sprinkle holes. And so I basically was like, I'll walk down the hallway, stand out front of my door for a little bit, and then walk back to his place and give it to him and pretend that I used it. There is no way that I'm opening it. There's no way I'm using this, and I'm never asking him for another thing. So he ended up getting scammed out of a bunch of money because this lady needed to get a cow so they could, her parents wouldn't let her come visit because they needed a cow or something. It was just, they basically just lied to him, and then he gave them money. Heavy metal, your first printer was dot matrix. Dot matrix was a lot of people's first printers, man. Printing off directions on MapQuest. Remember when people used to print out all their emails, bro? I never really did that. I was never a print out my email guy, but a lot of people printed out their emails. The young generation has terrible fried humor that's extremely pointless. I've heard actually that like the youngest generation's humor is nonsensical crap, and it's just like a side effect of trying to be different than previous generations or something like that. Al, you don't think you'll need to worry about yelling at kids to get off your lawn someday? They'll be at home banging the robots, bro. 100%. 100%. Ashmead, you're going to call your wife sprinkle holes and see how it goes. Heavy metal, you're almost as old as me, but it took being able to communicate with others via chat and instant messaging to help you break out of your social inability. I've always been a chatty guy. I've always started conversations with people I don't know. Larry, you think AI is slowly becoming a thing for incels? You know, I see AI as a natural problem for mankind because talking to women, especially when you're young and you haven't fully internalized the fact that women and men are all just humans, and yes, there are differences between you, but not nearly as many as you'd think, and just treat women like they're people, not like they're special unicorns you have to catch or some other species or whatever else. All of that can make it seem very daunting to get like a girlfriend. When I was young, I didn't have, even though I was a social guy and funny, and there were multiple chicks who had crushes on me. The chicks would have to ask me out because I didn't think that any girls would be into me. And now I know, dude, there's tons of women who would be happy to be with me. I'm smart, I'm funny, I've got a lot of great attributes that the ladies love. So I can see how as a youth, when you're dealing with all that, and the fact that it is very much mostly a dudes need to be the initiators kind of world, because women are the selectors, it can feel really intimidating, and it would be very easy to turn to a computer. Like there's one guy I know who is in his 40s, and he's never had a relationship with a girl, and he never will. He wants to be with girls, but he's not capable of doing it. Like, even if his friends try and set him up on dates and whatever, he just won't go. He's built it up too much, he's too afraid, and he's literally going to die alone. So dudes like him would absolutely end up with like an AI robo girlfriend. Habanero, the damn kids and their Lucy Lou bots. I will love you forever. Memory deleted. Oh, I'll never forget you. Memory deleted. Jess, one of your new roommates tried to get money off you at 5 in the morning, wouldn't leave you alone when you wanted to sleep. She claimed she wanted money to send a balloon and card into the sky for her dead sister. All right then. All right then. Ashmead, Real Talk Magic helped you to develop social skills? You're not alone with that. There are a bunch of people who learn social skills that way. 100%. Ladies love Cool Hatch. That's right. LL Cool Hatch, Millmaster. Gianna, one set aside from ABU that I'd collect if I could. Legends. Absolutely. Legends. Al, you think AI will bring natural selection to its next step? I think it'll cause problems for a bit, but society will sort it out somehow. Somehow. I'm not 100% exactly how, but that's what I think will happen. Oh, Juglum, no, I'm not. I would never. He's not. That guy is not my friend. I don't know him well enough to have that conversation with him. I don't even bring it up. I don't even bring it up. Somebody being 40 years old and afraid to initiate any kind of relationship with women is so alien to me that I wouldn't have a conversation like that with anybody other than like somebody I knew very, very well. It's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me. It's like, are you out of your fucking mind? You out of your mind? Like, my one buddy tried to hook him up with a bunch of different chicks. He's like, from like ones that he knew would bang him to just ones who were like, who knows how it's gonna go, but she's really chill, you know. He tried a whole bunch. I wouldn't bang my head against that wall, not unless it was a good friend of mine. Galindo, last year on OnlyFans, people found out some accounts were run by AI and the images were created by AI. That will become more and more of a thing as we progress. 100%. 100%. Jess, when will Merlin be in Magic? When there's finally a property for Universes Beyond that contains them. That's what I would say. Al says the creeps will fall in love with some anime characters. It's not just creeps, though. Like, it's just people who lack confidence. And how are they ever going to get the confidence if they don't go out and interact, right? Maybe they'll develop AIs that kind of will pseudo be your girlfriend, but will lead you to try and build your confidence to date real women, you know? Like an AI who's like, I want to be your girlfriend, but I only want to be in an open relationship. And I want a man with experience. So to make me happy, you need to go and be with real ladies. Maybe that's a workaround, right? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be socially engineered. Ashmead, people talk about overpopulation like it's a problem. But if you look, the statistics, human population starting to not go down but collapse. Well, I think part of that is the end of infant mortality. We used to have like massive families in part because like you can have 9 kids because 6 of them are going to get eaten by badgers, right? One of them's going to get the stimp leg and just die when they're 2, right? So that stopped being a thing where we could keep kids alive. And also, it's not all farming. So you don't have people who need to have 9 kids to work the farm. Like, I need you to be a new mule, Billy. We almost called you Muley, but your mama wouldn't let me. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all that countries are facing like a reduction in population like Japan and stuff like that, where people are just choosing not to have kids, or two parent families just going, we're just gonna have 1 kid, right? They're not even replacing themselves, let alone creating more. So I'm not worried about overpopulation. Break stop. It's so stressful dating. If your wife divorced you, you think you just go full hermit mode? I do wonder what would happen if me and Carly split up. I feel like at first I might isolate myself, but I tend to be somebody who really likes being in a monogamous relationship because that's the most meaningful. Whenever one of my long term relationships ends, I tend to go on a wild, like a wild spree of casual dating. But I always inform everybody that I'm dating of like, yo, I got out of a long term relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious. So we can have fun together, but like, I'm not looking for like something really committed. And then what happens is just through the process of mussing about, I find out who it is I want to be with, and then zero in on that and pursue that. That's how it ended with Carly. I saw a bunch of chicks after my last relationship ended, right? And then ultimately decided that Carly was the one for me. So I don't think that I would stay single, but I'm a pretty fucking charming dude. I have no problem getting women to engage with me. So I'm not worried that, like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to date somebody who was too young though, with too much of a gap between the existences that we had, right? Cthulhu, the world's getting weird and is making less and less sense to you. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. What up, DeVoe? How you doing? Ashmead, when you got divorced, you spent 5.5 years focusing on raising your son. Well, that makes sense, right? You've got something really important to do, and bringing, like, you don't know what bringing somebody into that could do to them or to your kid, and why risk it? Why chance it, right? That's understandable. That's understandable. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about the current era of dating, and I feel like I probably wouldn't try online dating. I would just try and meet ladies in person, you know? The same way I don't like online shopping. Break stop, I definitely feel you about feeling like you're in a whole other universe. Like the world as it was when I was like 15, 20 years old versus the world now is wildly different. Wildly different. Some things are worse, but some things are much better. Like I couldn't do what I'm doing now in the old world, right? There wasn't the technology that would allow us to all get together, just shoot the shit, talk about whatever, have a Sunday night good times chill stream, all of it, right? It's allowed me to live my dream of being an entertainer. Galindo, you don't blame people for not having kids due to the cost of raising one. Yeah, I mean it can be quite expensive. There's other reasons people don't do it as well. They might be in a situation like me and Carly, right, where her disability makes having a child a no-go. So we're not going to have any, and I'm totally fine with that. So everybody's got like different lives to live, and I could have gone one way or the other really, but I'm glad that I don't have that level of responsibility, hassle, and cost added into my life, because just taking care of me and Carly is already quite significant on my brain. So I don't need anything else in the mix, bro. Except for a dog. We'll get one of those. Ashmead says online shopping. Use the Amazon link. Don't be a dink. That's right. Use my Amazon link. Break stop, you're as far away from landline phones as your grandpa was from horse and buggies. Landline phones are so hilariously antiquated that I loved when we were watching RoboCop. And RoboCop has all this futuristic stuff, but they still just have landline phones. And it's just like, what? Or when you watch like Deep Space Nine, and everybody doesn't have a cell phone or cell phone equivalent. There's just a computer stuck in the wall people can go up and talk to, and like all their legal documents are on their own iPads. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. break stop, your wife decided for you that you weren't having kids, but to be honest, being a cool uncle is fun. I could be the cool uncle. That is within my my capabilities for sure. I could do that. I could do that. Dreams online dating is rigged against men because if a woman has near infinite suitors, there's always someone better, more interesting than you, unlike real life where you can bond over shared experiences. I get what you're saying, but I'm actually that dude who is more interesting. So online dating worked quite well for me because most chicks would be getting messages going, hey, 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 want to hook up or whatever? Meanwhile, I would just look at their pictures and send them bizarre messages like, how long you been a lumberjack? Right? Like, I start conversations and I keep them going. The biggest problem for online dating for me is that these women would be fucking tepid in the conversation, son. I'd say something clever and fun and they'd be like, lol. And then I'd say something else fun and clever and they'd be like, lol. And it's like, bitch, put in some fucking effort. Like, I'm going to move on to talking to somebody else. I know that you got a bunch of dudes who are interested in you, but like, I'm not going to waste my time on a woman who can't fucking carry a conversation. Sorry, honey. You're not the only one I'm fucking talking to. I'm saying fun shit to a bunch of ladies looking for a good time. So if all you're going to do is bounce back with that, you better follow it up with something good. The one chick got tired of my clever comments to the point where she was like, so do you want your dick sucked or what? And I was just like, oh, fuck yeah. What, like, when do you want to meet up? It's like, let's meet up tonight. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then I went out with her and, man, was she dumb. She didn't know what the hell a raccoon was. A raccoon came up to the vehicle and she's like, what's that? She did sound like that too. And, I was like, it's a raccoon. She's like, why is he here? And I'm like, because people feed it food when they shouldn't. So now the raccoons think they should come up to cars to get food. And she goes, I want to feed it. No, don't feed it. That causes these problems. The raccoons get run over by cars and stuff. They need to forage for themselves. Don't feed the raccoon. Good Lord. Good Lord. So, I mean, I let her suck it because obviously I'm getting something for my time. But I knew it wasn't going nowhere. I knew it wasn't going nowhere. So I was like, just put it in your mouth a few times and then I'm getting the hell out of here. And like, for real. Sorry, honey. I wish you the best in life and whatever. But no. I have a certain level of requirements that I need in my ladies, right? I need intelligent women. It's that simple. I can't be with a dumb woman. Carly has said that I could. She's like, if you just laughed at your joke and praised you, you could be with a dumb lady. And I'm like, no, I couldn't. She doesn't know how aggravated I get with stupid people. I have a very short amount of patience for people who are too dumb. If they can't keep up with what I'm saying, at a certain point, I get offended by their stupidity. It's not their fault that they're dumb, but it's like, just like it's not your fault that you're this stupid, it's not my fault I'm this fucking intelligent. I shouldn't be subjected to dealing with you. That's what it ends up turning into. So I couldn't be with this stupid lady because I would end up treating her with disdain. Not intentionally, just the shit she would say would be so stupid that I wouldn't be able to help it. I would respond with contempt automatically. And that's contempt ain't good for a relationship. Gianna, you were with somebody you thought was awesome, but you didn't want to be with them because you thought they were going to raise the kids wrong. Well, that's important, right? That's important. You gotta make sure that you don't compromise on things that are going to lead to ruin. Ashmi, when you did online dating, you found that commenting on something in the background of a photo instead of her body always works. I would just say, well, you guys know I say insane shit all the time. So I would just throw whatever nonsense I came up with at them, whatever it was. Sometimes it was about how they looked. Sometimes it was like just random whatevs, man. Randoms, whatever. Sometimes it wasn't about the picture. It was about something they said in their profile. Galindo, you're currently on a break of dating due to the fact that your relationships, you were the one who kept taking an L. And a few years ago, you were dating a woman who didn't tell you she was married. I had a married lady who just wanted to use me for my seed so that she could get pregnant because her husband had cheated on her with her sister and she wanted a revenge baby. I did not put that together when we were first talking, and she had a sweet rack. But like once I was hanging out with her juggling them, then the whole thing of the fact that she had a husband came up. And I don't even care about that part. But trying to get a baby off of me is a big hell no. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your mind? I just want to rail you. No, that's it. That's it. Forget it. Forget it. Al, I'd rather be with someone who's intellectually stimulating rather than physically stimulating. For the first 3 months when you hook up with somebody, your brain is just pumping you full of crazy happy drugs. Yeah, woo, let's have an awesome time. After those 3 months, that shit wears off. So you need something to sustain it. And intelligence is an absolute requisite. Absolutely. Absolutely. Millmaster, your wife wants you to find a second wife so you'll leave her alone sometimes. You do that and you're going to find out that she wants you to leave you alone all the time, and that was just her way of making sure that she could get as much from you from the dissolution of your marriage. Oh, man. It's a strange world, friends. It's a strange world. Thanks for coming and hanging out. It has been a happy, fun, good time stream. I enjoyed chilling with you guys, chatting about all of that goodness. Congratulations, Jess. You're Lord of the board at the end of the stream. That means you go into the box of glory. So, take it easy, everybody. I will catch up with you guys again real soon.